Time to be part of uni life. For most, university marks an important milestone for students. From their first experience of living away from home, to creating lifelong friendships, and to sampling what life has to offer outside of study time.
I expect it to be, fun, interesting.
Cameras exclusively followed students and staff from 8 universities as they journeyed through an unforgettable year of challenges, new experiences, and celebrations.
We graduated!
This is My Uni Life. This time on My Uni Life, we meet the TU Dublin students who are burning the midnight oil to present their final year work at their graduation exhibition.
It's a little bit stressful. It's very, very stressful.
And we catch up with DCU's Matthew and Chloe, who work with talented artists in the Head Starts project.
We love it. It is the highlight of our week.
We love doing it.
In the University of Limerick, final year accountancy and finance student Mark McDonough is balancing his studies with a busy career in the world of horse racing. It has been a turbulent year for the jockey, who has had to sit out most of the racing season due to injury.
I was introduced to the scholarship last year. I get great training support, get to get used to the gym, and there's a few other perks in it. I always wanted to be a jockey. That was, a dream of mine that I've, I'm lucky to become a reality. Kind of all spurred from being at home around horses and just progressed along naturally. I was never forced into anything, and it was just always something I wanted to do. My mother and father were always into horses. My granddad trains, he trains race horses.
After his run of unlucky injuries, today is an important milestone in Mark's comeback.
We're in Wexford Racecourse today. At the moment we have 5 rides. So normally I go to races with probably 2 or 3 rides. So it'll be a busy day throughout the day now. A lot of running in and out of the weigh room and in between rides getting sorted. We're going to just walk the track here, get an idea what the ground is like. When I walk track, obviously I'm kind of just trying to put my heel into the ground, various places in the track to see whether I'd be better off staying on the outside or the inside later on. And it's a preference of jockeys really, making sure that there's no soft spots around the track and just trying to find the best place really to place my horse. I get a lot of satisfaction when I go out and walk the track and I make a plan that the rest of the lads mightn't have thought of, and it works out, Plan today is try get all the horses from one side of the fence to the other and try finish in front of the rest. Now, often enough that plan doesn't work, but we'll see how we get on.
It's Mark's first race of the day, and all eyes are on Wouldn't You Agree, which is trained by Owen Griffin.
Mark has ridden the horse on most of his runs, so he knows the horse inside out now, and I don't have to tell him too much, but we'll probably be taking our time. 2.5 miles might be just pushing his trip a little bit, so he'll probably be taking his time on him and hopefully arriving there coming down to the last, so with a bit of luck.
And they're off.
The threat of injury looms large for jockeys, and Mark has had his fair share of setbacks in recent times.
I fractured 11 bones, had 2 concussions and punctured a lung while I was in college. Nothing of that was to do with college. I probably would say I came back too early, but the last 6 weeks now my body's felt really well. For a dangerous job, I suppose a lot of us would be a bit superstitious. I just always have a medal on my back protector, always have 2 stones in my granny's grave in my bag, just stuff like that. And I suppose if anyone was asking where are we starting in this race, it'd be like we're jumping the last twice, touch wood, and we'd all touch wood. It's a strange one, but say it keeps our head right anyway, and whether it helps or not now we don't know.
Despite a strong finish, the result doesn't go Mark or Owen's way. But there's little time to dwell on it. There's a lot of racing to come. Mark's second ride, despite that, is trained by Liam Burke.
Just about landing in front, good as hell.
I know myself, when I was going to school, I was adamant I was going to leave at junior cert, but my parents insisted I did my leaving, which I'm glad now I did, because you never know what you have to fall back on. But when you're young, you can't see anything else, only hostels and hostels and hostels. But nowadays that is up again. You need to go to university now to have something to fall back on. And it's important nowadays.
Good spin out, ran his odds there, so we got a little bit unlucky turning in, but don't like a buck there and we get the best out of him another day.
4 races in, and Mark has had little of that much needed luck. We'll be back in Wexford for his last race of the day, and this one is personal.
So next one is from my grandfather. I think he's a shout. It's taken a lot of getting today, but I think he's a gutsy horse, so hopefully now, you know, if we get a clear round of jumping and try hold on to him until we turn into the straight, we should have a squeak. And look, horses are running well for us today, so if we can turn into the second last with a chance, everything else will be a bonus.
Later we will see if Mark gets that all-important win in Wexford. At Technological University Dublin, fine arts students Shannon McGovern and Oisín Tozer are coming to the end of their time in university.
I decided to go to art college when I was in 5th year. When I told my mum and dad and my family, they were just like, oh, okay, if it makes you happy, go do it. They also didn't know a lot of opportunities that come with art. Like, it's not just about being an artist practice or making €1 million in one day from one painting. It's about like actually building a career in different things. And once they kind of seen that side of it as well, they're a bit more excited for it. And they're always really excited to see my art. It's really, really lovely. They're always really supportive about it, and they're always trying to figure out what it's about, and they never get it right.
My mum was like pretty okay about me doing art. Obviously, it's like not a field where you're going to be like making crazy money unless you get like very lucky. But yeah, she was pretty supportive of it and always has been. There's a lot of kind of mystery around fine art, and there's, I guess, like this quite romantic image attached to a lot of the activities that you might do as an artist, especially if you're doing something more traditional like painting. They kind of think you're this like romantic figure who just paints all day.
One of TU Dublin's fine art lecturers is Brian Fay.
There's many ways to make it within the arts. A lot of students have drifted into education, they've drifted into curation, and they've worked within arts policy as well as working as visual artists. It's always very heartening to see your graduates as they go on, and some of them are operating at really, really high levels. And we hope that the input that we had with them was sort of foundational or fundamental in terms of them thinking around their own development and trajectory. We encourage them to go to open submission shows, to approach curators. So again, it's trying to open up those experiences and setting up those network connections for our students at a very early stage. So final year with us is a busy year. It's the culmination of 4-year study. In the first semester, they have to develop a thesis, which is an 8,000 to 10,000 word body of text that they submit in January. And while they're doing that, they also have seminars and workshops, and they're developing their own work. Once the thesis is done, it's full-on production for your final year show.
Fine art student Shannon has been burning the midnight oil in preparation for her important end-of-year exhibition.
A lot of trial and errors happened, a lot of crits and a lot of like frustrations and joy and stuff. I've reshot my video about 6 times now. The first video I made with using mesh to project it through was definitely the biggest breakthrough I've had since. And then the second biggest breakthrough was using latex in my sculptures to create these kind of misshapen forms, because I didn't know exactly how I was going to do that, and it was kind of stressing me out a bit. When you're using material, you need to kind of like look into the ideas behind them and the associations behind them and stuff. So with latex, there's obviously like a sexual connotation around that as well. But with my practice, I'm looking at queer relationships and queer identities and how fluid they can be, or how harmful labels can be for people as well. With the idea of using the latex as well, it's speaking to that idea of how queer women can be fetishised for being in queer relationships or in a straight relationship or even a gay relationship. The whole idea of the sculpture itself was to show an idea around fluidity and around like sexual identity and stuff like that. This text here was written at the start of the year, and it's based on my 19-year-old self in a queer relationship and my 25-year-old self in another queer relationship, but quite different one. It's not me talking to myself and like asking how things have gone, it's how I felt at that stage and how I feel about these words now. The actual words itself will be in the video, but as me speaking them instead. By me putting out my personal trials and tribulations with relationships is being quite tough, but also quite liberating at the same time. I think it's very important for me to express my feelings through art because I don't know how to express it with words. So by me making things or me drawing things or making a video about it or writing a script about it, it kind of helps me process what has happened or what's going on. Not even negative things, also positive things.
Oisín has also been busy on campus ahead of the exhibition.
The work's kind of a response to plant matter. So something like, say, the invasive species like Japanese knotweed and how plant matter behaves in kind of an environment. And I guess it's like potential to be volatile and what that volatility kind of says about the context that it's currently in. So I'm here in the project space. I've taken some of the elements from my studio and I'm beginning to sort of set them up and seeing how they play out in the space, and I guess sort of putting things together for like the final show. So I'm currently carving it onto the wall. So initially the drawings were on paper with pigment, and then I started experimenting more with pigment, and I just liked the idea of carving it into the wall because it kind of speaks to the actual history of the plant socially, in terms of the idea that Japanese knotweed was actually like carved out of the land quite literally, and it was taken out, and its existence was then kind of altered from that act of like taking it out. So this is a sheet of industrial glass with chlorophyll that I've extracted from spinach leaves actually, and when the chlorophyll is applied to the glass initially, it's quite green, but it actually kind of reacts to the space and it kind of ages. It has a vibrancy and a kind of like aliveness to it. I think it's what I want people to take away, I guess, is that their experience of something is more to do in the relations that it has with things as opposed to just something in itself.
Unlike other forms of college, you might have, 8 to 10 hours a week. But in our college, you could be here, 8, 9 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. So what Shannon and Oisín have really done is their application has been wonderful because of the natural curiosity that they both have.
The timescale we have left now is about 2 months. Right now, it's all very much go, go, go. We're here from 9 o'clock in the morning till about like 8, 9 at night sometimes. I thought I'd be a lot further than I am at the moment, but unfortunately unforeseen circumstances with the latex and the actual sculpture itself has pushed me back a little bit. But luckily I have all my recording done and I can just edit then while stuff is drying. So hopefully I'll have enough time. I think I will. It's a little bit stressful. It's very, very stressful.
We will be back at TU Dublin later in the year to see Shannon and Oisín when they reveal their work to family, friends and fellow students for the very first time. DCU's autism-friendly campus has impacted on the student experience for many in the university. One of those students is Matthew, who is in the last year of his early childhood education course.
I would say that I'm very openly and proudly autistic. My brain is taking in too much. I can't say to my brain, focus on this and don't focus on that. It just takes all of it in.
Matthew and fellow student Chloe head up an innovative and inclusive arts project in the local community.
I am the chair of Head Start Society. Head Start Society provides arts and drama classes for adults with intellectual disabilities. Every Tuesday, people will come in for 2 hours and we sort of provide an artistic, a friendly kind of social space, because living with an intellectual disability in society can be very isolating and very lonely experience. And you might be institutionalized or living with your family, but either way, there's not often a lot of opportunities to socialize. This is the art room, and we also have a dance room. This is kind of like our chill area space, and the other one is like a high energy space. And it's kind of really important to like have choice, so they can choose if they want to leave and go to the next room or come back or whatever they want to do. I started getting involved just after lockdown, actually, because I kind of realised that it would be really good to do some more volunteering and some in an education field to like work on my CV and also my postgraduate applications. But it's also like honestly the funnest thing I do all week because they are so funny and just so great to be around.
Matthew met Chloe on his very first day in DCU. 4 years later, they are still firm friends.
Matthew is amazing. Matthew is hilarious. He is so bubbly. He's so good with other people. He just makes everybody feel so welcome, so comfortable. Like, our members love him. He is a brilliant leader.
Denise is one of the Head Start's talented artists.
If I want to do my art stuff, I don't ever going to work. I'm up in Ballymore afternoon, and I made it.
We do art activities and drama and music, and like most of all, we just give these like really special adults a place to come and have fun and be with people that are similar to them, and have like students and other people like care about them, ask them about their week, ask them how they are. We love it. Like, it is the highlight of our week.
This is a collaboration between Esther and Josie. I think that they are both brilliant abstract artists who should be put in a museum.
It's beautiful though, like you can
Honestly.
see it's such a nice way for them to express themselves, and it's also different. I think we're in a very privileged position as students that we have the media and we have everything at our fingertips, and I think especially as educators, I feel like we have a bit of a calling and, I don't know, a duty to talk about issues that are important to us. Like, this is the chance we have to speak about them, to speak about neurodivergent people, to speak about people of colour, to speak about women in leadership. The more diverse and the more people are able to share their own personal stories and advocate for things that are important to them, like, the more the future is going to change.
Matthew has recently received some exciting news.
I got an offer from Queen's University Belfast to do a Master's in Psychological Science. I am very overwhelmed by that because they want from me a 2.1, which is the second highest grade you can get. But if I get an average of 61% this semester, then I get a first in the degree. So, I don't know what your
I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I will come and visit you. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if a pandemic, when we were apart for like nearly a year, like, we maintained the friendship, we still made each other laugh about stupid things, like, it's not going to change being in different parts of the country. But like, the switch between like finishing college and going from a student to unemployed overnight is like not something I was prepared for.
It's not happened to you yet. You can't.
Yeah, I know, but it's coming. It's like 3 weeks.
I don't like surprising or tricking people that I teach. I like to be honest. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been trying to like prepare them for the eventuality that I'm going to leave. I'm definitely going to miss it. It's going to be so strange not to come here.
Bye. Bye. See you next week.
Matthew and Chloe will be graduating later in the year, and like many other final year students, will be taking the next steps on their education and employment journeys. Back in Wexford, it has been a tough day in the saddle for UL student Mark. Despite coming close, he is still waiting for his first win of the day. With one more race to go, Mark is riding his grandfather's own horse, Battle of Mirbat.
We're hopeful, you know, just if he handles this ground, he's a big horse for around here, like. He's riding well. He's rode a couple of winners in the last couple of weeks. I think since his exams have finished, he's really got focused back onto the riding full time, and you know, he deserves his chance. Really, simple as that.
This is our last chance of the day, really. I'd say we won't put that on the film, though.
Despite his relaxed style, Mark knows that winning races is the name of the game. His trainer James Ivers is also hopeful for a good result. Mark has started well and is settled amongst the main pack. Coming into the straight, Battle of Meerbat has his head in front, and James is willing him on.
Outside the door, Lakeshad flattening out close. It's in the centre. Battle of Meerbat is just going to hold on. Battle of Meerbat. Good night, Scotland. Wagon Clan, the long-time leader, is third, ahead of outside the door.
It's brilliant. That's his first winner now in his grandfather's colours, so that's brilliant. Relief, relief, to be honest with you, because I said the last day he ran, he wasn't 100% right, so you were coming here just hopeful that he was okay, and no, he's a nice horse and he gritted it out well. Yeah, and in fairness, Mark had him in the perfect position the whole way. So the one day I won't have to give out to him at all.
Yeah, sure, look, it means a lot. I say normally I wouldn't get too excited over riding the winner, but it's just been a long time coming for that fella, and you know, we've had a lot of good days and bad days and hard luck stories. So just, you know, I'm over the moon now. It's probably after making my summer, so it is. So no, happy out.
In the aftermath of victory at Wexford, Mark has just got news of another great result.
The results came out yesterday. I got my honours degree. As I say, just delighted to have the degree, and it's something that, you know, I'll never be able to be taken off me. When I first went to university, for the first 2 years I didn't really know why I was there, to be honest. I just wanted to be a jockey. From injuries and from meeting people and growing up, I thought the last 2 years I could see the importance of education, and I say that honestly, in that, you know, there will be a career after racing as much as you want to be racing. So like you know, the importance of it, and to be able to say that I have a degree now in accountancy and finance, and, you know, it just opens so many doors. It's massive, and I take a lot of pride now in being able to say I have it done.
Next time on My Uni Life. We are backstage at the Galway International Arts Festival with University of Galway students who are looking for their big break in the world of the arts.
Oh, that was amazing.
We catch up with University of Limerick student Rosie, who is tasting life at a leading Irish software company.
I was a bit anxious.
And we meet the conferring team at Trinity College Dublin ahead of a busy graduation season.
So this is where it all happens.